So, you know how people talk about the woods up here? They say they're haunted, but it's not ghosts, man. Not like in the movies. It's something older. Look, you know that you've grown up here. You've heard the name whispered. The Wampus Cat. Yeah, I know. Half woman, half mountain lion. Cursed for spying on some old ritual, now she wanders the ridges forever. Most people just laugh it off, a campfire story. And I was right there with them. I really was. But I'm telling you, man, after what I saw, I'll never set foot in those woods at night again. Ever. The wind that night. You know that smell of pine and damp earth? The one that usually feels like home. It did feel like that. It felt like something was breathing on my neck. It just felt it felt wrong. You know me, I was always the skeptic. My grandpa, God rest his soul, he swore he'd seen things that would curdle milk. And yeah, okay, sometimes he'd get this look in his eye. When he told those stories, it made the hair on your arm stand up. But, daylight comes and it fades away. Until that night. God, it was so stupid. Me and my cousin Billy Joe, we were deep in the woods, way deeper than we should have been. He dared me. Of course he dared me. You know how he was, all swagger. He called me a city boy. Can you believe that? And yeah, maybe we had a little too much moonshine. We were looking for that old lost still they talk about, the one that's supposed to be hidden in some forgotten cove. Billy Joe, he was just crashing ahead, laughing his head off, his light beam going everywhere. And I was hanging back, being more careful. And it got quiet. I mean, really quiet. You know how it's never really silent out there? Crickets, wind, all that. It was all gone. Just nothing. That's when I started to get that feeling on the back of my neck. I yelled out, "Billy Joe, you sure we're going the right way?" And nothing, not a peep, which wasn't like him. He always had a comeback. My stomach just twisted. I started moving faster, calling his name again. I could hear my voice shaking. Still nothing. My heart started hammering, and then I heard it. I swear to God, I have never heard a sound like that. It wasn't a bear, it wasn't a coyote, it was this low growl. And you could feel it, man. You could feel it in your feet, vibrating up from the ground. It was close. My blood just turned to ice. I couldn't move. Every part of me was screaming to run, but my feet were just stuck. I waved my flashlight around like a crazy person, and for just a second, the beam caught something. 2 eyes. Not deer eyes, not fox eyes. They were green. And they were glowing, and they were intelligent. It was like it wasn't just an animal looking at me. It was thinking. It knew I was there. Then it moved. Not like a cat. It moved like a person, just slipping back into the darkness. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't scream. And only one thought hit me like a punch to the gut. Wampus Cat. All of Grandpa's stories, all of the warnings, it all came rushing back. It was real. And then the scream, oh God, the scream, it ripped through the woods. It was half animal, half person, just full of rage and pain. It was the Wampus Cat's cry. I didn't even think. I just ran. Didn't look back, couldn't look back. Branches were hitting me in the face. I was falling all over the place, but I didn't care. I could hear it behind me crashing through the trees. It was big. Whatever it was so big, and it was right behind me. I smashed through these bushes and fell into this little clearing. And there it was. It was just standing there under this old twisted oak tree. It was tall, man. So tall. Like 7, maybe 8 feet high. And its head, it was a cat's head, like a mountain lion. But it was wrong. The eyes, I don't know, the shape of it was almost human. And it tilted its head like it was curious. God, that was the worst part. It wasn't just some beast that was watching me. And then it took a step, just one slow, and I saw its hands. They had these long black claws. That's when my brain finally started working again. I just screamed, turned, and plunged back into the woods. I ran until my lungs felt like they were on fire. I ran until I didn't know where I was anymore. I just kept running until I fell out onto the old dirt road by my house, shaking so bad I couldn't even stand up. I never saw a Billy Joe again. They searched for weeks, they found some of his stuff, some weird tracks they couldn't explain, and they never found him, and I couldn't tell them. I mean, what was I going to say? Who would believe me? They'd think I was crazy or drunk. And now, look at me. I hear a branch snap outside of my window, and I just about jump out of my skin. It broke something in me, I tried telling a buddy of mine down into the alley once. He laughed, told me to lay off the shine. So, yeah, that's the story. That's what I saw. So when you hear people laughing about it, calling it a campfire story, just trust me, it's not.